So, thank you on behalf of Team Tech
My pleasure.
for accepting to the interview. So, my first question would be, what inspired you to pursue a career in physics with passion?
Oh, okay. Since I was not exposed to many other things, so I had limited options. And in those limited options, is academics and this teaching profession, that was the best.
What inspired you to go into academia and
That's what I'm telling. When I was in school, it was less reputed, you can say underprivileged type of school. So we did not know that there are many more careers. Although I don't repent now, but if I look back, I don't know if I had all those options. Maybe I do not know whether I would have gone to academics or not. Unfortunate that could have been very unfortunate thing in my life if I missed this academia. So there, the teacher is the ideal. Okay, even today, if you go to primary school students, class 2, 3, 4, teacher is the ideal. Whatever teacher is saying is the word of God. Okay. So almost every student is impressed by the teacher. But as the student is exposed to many more things, other things, to the society, and gradually the teacher slips from that position. Okay, that ideal God type position, the teacher slips down. So that was the thing. I used to just see my teachers standing on the board and talking to so many students. That fascinated me. In a very early stage, it was almost in my mind that I have to become a teacher. Now, what subject and what kind of institution, school, college, university, that was something I didn't know, but I have to become teacher. So that was instilled in my mind in a very early stage and remained there. And physics came, I would not say by accident, but I could have missed this line of physics. I was just narrowly, I could catch up this because when I was in class 2, mathematics was my fascination. I was doing lots of mathematics and I was enjoying. After doing class 12, after the examination and before admission to bachelor's program, BSc, we had some 2 months or so period. So in those 2 months I did really lot of mathematics, complex analysis, Jacobson, real analysis, routine, many things, linear algebra, modern algebra, many things I did in those 2 months. And I had in mind that I'll go for mathematics honors and then mathematics masters and so forth. But then my mathematics professor, who was in charge of admissions when I went to mathematics department with form filled for mathematics honors, he persuaded me not to go for mathematics. He persuaded me to go for physics. Of course, physics was also equally enjoyable. And he told me that, look, you have 78% marks in physics, how come you are planning to go for mathematics? You are so bright, you should go in physics. And then I countered him, I said, but I have 98% marks in mathematics. So why should I go to physics? I should go to mathematics. But somehow he prevailed upon me. That no, 78% of physics means much more than 98% of mathematics. They are not comparable. You have to scale them and this and that. So finally, I had to go for physics. But I really thank that person that he pushed me in this physics life, because now I am enjoying both the worlds. I have all that mathematical skills I have, that which I had studied in those 2 months. And that had helped me throughout this research career and everything. And then physics is, of course, no match.
Your contribution to the field of physics is tremendous.
I don't know that.
Either because of being the professor of a very renowned institute and technical institute in India, or your most famous book for engineering aspirants in the country. So how do you feel about it? Becoming the somebody who people look up to.
See, nowadays on televisions you hear a phrase again and again. Today also I heard it at least 2 times. मैं बहुत छोटा आदमी हूँ. Okay, so really I am no special. I am a very ordinary person. I do not have much depth in physics. I have not done a lot of research in physics. I'm just an ordinary professor, ordinary teacher. But the only thing is that yes, this book came when I was in Patna University. And in university system, you have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want to do. Here also we have a lot of freedom, but at the same time, the workload here is 2 orders of magnitude more than the workload at the university. So all those time was there. And then somewhere I learned during those initial years of Patna University that physics teaching or physics education or physics learning cannot be done in isolation. It has to be properly packaged according to the lifestyle of the audience. It's not the equation and it's not differential equation, it's not mathematics. Mathematics there, yes, you have to know what is Bessel function and what is Hankel's function, how to solve second order differential equation and this and that. But physics is very different. If you want to teach an equation, then you have to really look at your audience, which background the person is coming, what kind of games he or she is playing, what kind of food he or she is taking. Unless you know that cultural background, and you don't package your physics delivery according to that, tuned to that cultural background, that transmission is not very efficient. That I learned in the initial years. And there I found that, okay, there is a complete vacuum. I don't find any textbook or any teaching material which has been written keeping this in mind, that it is for Indian students and especially for people coming from smaller towns or villages or rural areas. So that was the vacuum. Alright? So I just gave it a try, that I can, if I can fill that vacuum. If I can prepare a text material which is as authentic as Resnick Halliday or such books, but then it is packaged in according to the lifestyle, cultural background of our medium cities and rural areas. That's all I have done. There's no great thinking or physics or any new thing. Absolutely not. Now you say, how do I feel when I go to different places and so many students are there and they all. Yes, I feel that I am very fortunate. Very fortunate. So much of love, so much of affection of such a huge number of students and teachers. The community has given me much more than what I deserve. So I am grateful. That's all.
So, the preface of the concepts of physics book reads, the motto underlying this book is physics is enjoyable.
Exactly.
So can you elaborate on that? People are scared of physics.
Yeah, that is why I write that. It's a myth that physics is scary or it is difficult or you have to learn so many concepts, you have to learn so many equations, so many methods, so many procedures. That's a myth, right? It is enjoyable. It's really enjoyable. It's enjoyable, I'll tell you how. My team consists of students or youth coming from the neighboring villages who have not gone through any training, so to say, that sophisticated training in a good institute and all that. They are BSc students of some small college, or they have left all this studies, etc. That formed my group. Now these people, when they talk to each other, they use the terminology of physics. If someone puts a hand on the friend's shoulder, he will say that, okay, I am applying 20 newtons on you. That's the kind of thing. Hey, don't shout at me. I'll slap you with 100 newtons of force. So that's the kind of terminology they are using in their conversations. Wherever they will be having that fruity or something, and they are using that straw, and then something is shrinking, that Tetra Pak is shrinking. Immediately they will start discussing, okay, the pressure here has gone down and this has expanded, and Boyle's law is here is Boyle's law. So they enjoy so much, okay, and from that the learning goes. So physics is really enjoyable. It's an unfortunate situation that students are presented physics in such a way that they feel it is difficult or it is scary. It's very unfortunate. And once you start enjoying, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that.
So how do you think a student can befriend physics and start enjoying?
That onus is on teacher. That's not on the students. I will not give any suggestions to students. That onus is with teachers. And therefore, I am doing this work almost every month or twice a month. I go somewhere, wherever someone calls me and brings 50 teachers there for 6 hours or 8 hours or 2 days or 3 days or 10 days. I try to go there, talk to those teachers and try to motivate those teachers. Let the teachers know first that physics is enjoyable. If the teachers start enjoying physics, then only it will go to the students. Right? Although this very fast changing scenario using technology, all that internet and web-based courses and videos being available and all those things, that might change the scenario. But in large populations, okay, in thousands of schools, even today, teacher is the link between student and education. So this is very important that our teachers are motivated, our teachers are proud of their profession, and our teachers enjoy the subject and innovate the method of presentations. Okay. But even then, the message to the students would be how they can be friendly. That physics is one thing where, as I said, it's the whole surrounding is your laboratory. Right? You hold a stick in your hand, and then you can ask all your torque equations and force equations and this and that, rotational dynamics, everything. Just I'm holding a stick. If you analyze, so much of physics goes here, and it can really give all the practice of all those equations. So if you start looking physics in your surrounding, any time, any 5 minutes, any 10 minutes, any 1 minute, you just, okay, whatever is happening now here, I'll apply my physics equations. That's it.
Every once in a while we hear that physicists are getting closer to unveiling the secrets of the universe, and then suddenly some new observation disturbs the whole procedure and everything gets replaced by a new theory. So
Right.
what is your opinion on that? Why
So
is
that's
that?
the most fantastic thing. Okay? In science, that's the most fantastic thing. It's not that God has given some book or God has given some equations and everyone has to respect that and with very faithfully, religiously we have to follow that. No. Science falsifiability is one of the wonderful things with science in general. Okay, falsifiability. It can be falsified. And when it is done, there's a huge jubilation in the community. Now something which we believe it is there, for 100 years or 150 years or 50 years. No, it's not like that. Something else has to replace that. So we just cherish those moments. Okay, so it's not that all of a sudden we become sad. Oh, all that I had done was wrong. No, that is the celebration. That is the biggest strength. We are looking for it. We are working for it. All those breakthroughs, and when they come, we don't know. In my lifetime, whether I will see something of that sort, I don't know. It can come accidentally, or it can come because of some programmed studies and research and all those things. But if something happens of that sort, it's wonderful.
So, what is your opinion on the current education scenario in the country?
Very poor, very poor, very very poor. The current scenario is something which is demotivating students, which is counterproductive. It's going in negative direction. It's not that it's not doing anything, it's doing things but in negative direction. So, because science means innovations, science means something new, discovering something new, understanding threadbare analysis, and then new things, new innovations. Right? These are the basic blocks, building blocks of science or science education or science development further. And from the very beginning, from our primary school level, the whole system trains you to answer the pre-specified questions. The questions are there at the end of the chapter, and you have to answer those questions. So the whole spirit of science education is lost. The student is not getting trained in scientific culture. Okay, and that thing is not being inculcated. Rather, whatever is God-given, naturally given, before going to school, the preschool, those 3 years, that's the natural learning. That time, how much is a child learns? One full language, whatever you speak in the family. Now, you all know, learning a language is not a joke. For the next 12 years or 15 years, you keep trying, make the student learn the second language, and still it's very, very difficult. But in those 3 years, the first 3 years, before going to preschool, every child learns a full language. That's natural learning. There you have not given write 5 verbs and 5 names of 5 flowers, and no syllabus. Nothing is specified. From the surrounding, the child is picking up. Okay, so it's a natural strength which every child has, and during the schooling, we in a very structured manner we diminish that strength and train them not to think. Alright, you must have heard many tutors who prepare students for examinations. If you start thinking in the examination hall, how will you score? You have to score only in those 3 hours. And if you start thinking there, you are gone. Alright, the whole training is not to think. Right? The whole training is not to think. Is there, I am telling the teacher has to think, why should the student think? The teacher is explaining, and a good teacher means very good explanation. Right? He explains in a very lucid manner, explicit, so that the students understand it very well. So where is this thinking part? Where is the need for this student to think, because the teacher is explaining it so well, and if it is not explaining, the blame is on teacher, not on the student. And do you think that the teachers think? They also don't think. They also don't think. If I have to give a lecture on diffraction, I know what I have to do. I don't have to think anything. I have to write that equation and integrate, and I know the final result also. What should I? Why should I think? And what do I think? So who is thinking in this whole education system? Who is thinking? The student is not thinking. The teacher is not thinking. The author is not thinking. Well, that's the worst part.
So what do you think can be done to improve the situation?
Well, this is something on which a serious debate, a serious discussion, serious workshops have to be held, and something drastic has to come. And as I said that I have very limited, I am very ordinary person, I do not have all those links to impress those policy makers and so on and so forth. So what I am trying to do at the teacher's level, if something can be done, right? At teacher's level, if something can be done, if a teacher individually can do something to slightly, at least slightly rectify, slightly bringing that natural process of learning into the system. So now I am trying to evolve things. We have developed some about 400 very short experiments which can be integrated into the classroom teaching of 35 minutes period or 40 minutes period. So if you have to teach a refraction of light, you go with some kind of a bottle and a laser torch and then you show how the ray is refracting and whether it is going towards the normal, whether it is going away from the normal. And this whole process takes about 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes. And then you start Snell's law. Okay? Once you have displayed, shown with your bottles, the three-dimensional science in 3 dimensions, not in 2 dimensions, not just put a line, this is a surface. You draw a line and say that this is a surface separating 2 media. Something is wrong. Okay? You are drawing a line and calling it a surface. So squeezing science from 3 dimensions to 2 dimensions will bring a lot of anomalies. So first do it in 3 dimensions. Show is, and then is there. Okay, from water when the light is going in there, it is bending away from the normal, or vice versa. So once it is there, after that you tell Snell's law and show that yes, you should be more for water and less for air. Why not? For that you don't have to take permission from the principal. You don't need funds. You don't need laboratory space. You are not offending the board or syllabus, nothing. Everything is going smoothly. But even this small thing can make a change. And my experience is, if you do an experiment, whatever experiment, simplest experiment, you do a simple experiment, and 10 new questions will come. It will never come if you are just doing it with the board. And I am very much interested in if these new questions can be documented. When I go for teachers' workshop and I do a small experiment, that 50-year-old experiment, at least 50-year-old experiment, put water in a glass tumbler, right? Fill it till the brim, put a postcard, invert, remove your fingers, and the water doesn't fall. Okay. Alright, age-old experiment, nothing great about it. But once I ask a question to our teachers, that okay, this experiment is to show that air is pressing from below, but then the water is pressing from top on the postcard. Why do you neglect that? And how do you know that the water is not pressing with a force more than what this air is? Now, once this question is there, all my teachers will get into discussion. And then so many new things will come up from that discussion. So many new things which I also don't know. I know the answers, but that question had not come to me earlier. A new question will come to me. I will say, okay, fine. So I will analyze that. So an experiment has this potential that new questions will come up, and the analysis, it can be interdisciplinary. When you are teaching a chapter on a blackboard, then you are just doing that chapter. But when you are doing an experiment, then it could be interdisciplinary in the sense that, okay, Boyle's law is also operating in the same experiment. Force and pressure and this Newton's first or second law is also operating in the same scenario. and many other things could be there. You are holding by hand, so maybe some heat is being transmitted to the bottle, so that conduction of heat is also there. So 3, 4, 5 things can be there. Could be an extremely good platform to build up this scientific culture. Right? So that's what I am trying to do. But yes, if great minds sit together and do something which can change the scenario of driving students towards unscientific practices to inculcating scientific thinking and procedures and culture, that would be good for the nation.
So there's a school of thought that JEE and other competitive exams should be more based on mental aptitude rather than maths and science, because formulas can be mucked up, so mental aptitude will actually test the intellect of the student. So what is your say on this?
See, whatever you do, you will have coaching institute for that. Okay? So it's again trained. What is happening to NTSE? In NTSE examination, there's a big weightage on so-called logical reasoning type questions. Alright? But the market is flooded with all varieties of reasoning type questions which the setter can think of. And all these NTSE, training institutes, they give a lot of time how to train them to think about all that relations and jumbling of the letters and all possible varieties of those so-called aptitude type questions. They will train the students, and once again it will again become who has taken what kind of coaching. So that is not the solution. That's not the solution. But yes, what you are saying, the present system in which professors are always trying to come up with a question paper which needs better understanding of the subject than some practice. They are trying. But then IIT professors are not good at that. IIT professors are good at doing hi-fi research. Right? They have expertise in that. They have done 3 years of postdoctoral fellowship in Berkeley or California or this and that. They had not been trained to set up a question paper which can check the ability of the student, this concept understanding and all those things. So our professors are not good at that. So these things will be there. These things will always be there. Right? So that is not the solution. But yes, if someone can come up with a better model of testing, it will be nice. It's true that the present JEE question paper or system is surely not very good. Right? I myself have been part of this question setting team at least 6, 7, 8 times. Right? So I know all that inner dynamics, how the questions are set. So I admit that yes, it's not the best type of question papers or best type of testing mechanism that we are doing. But then so far what we could think, with IIT people could think, under that limitation this is the best thing that we are able to do.
So we would like to know your opinion about the concept of technathlon. What do you think about it?
Actually I saw your questions and I thought that it's good that I don't have to appear in that. It's very, very tough, very, very challenging, and you are looking at the best brains, I will say. You are targeting the best brains. Whereas my aptitude is go for the masses. Right? I go to my rural areas, the lower underprivileged children and all those things. But yes, see, the best brains need a challenge. If that challenge is not given, then their strength goes down. All those cells, if they remain dormant for some extended period, yes, that capability will go down. So in that sense, the competition of this type is doing a good job, that you are keeping all those people active to think and to enhance their capabilities. So it's a good thing.
Thank you, sir. Can you describe Technathlon in one line?
I have already described. It's a challenging one. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.